Top of the morning to you people. Just a little bit of an update. It's now Sunday, it's about, I don't know, about 8 o'clock in the morning. Up early again, but not as early as what I have been. I've been getting up at 5:30 every morning, but with it being Sunday, not a lot happening. I didn't get up till 6:30 this morning. But it's same again. It's only supposed to be light winds blowing, but it's blowing a right hooligan again. Don't know if you can see. Don't know if the camera's picking it up. Well, it's eased off a little bit at the minute, but it keeps coming in gusts. But it weren't forecast to be as windy as what it is, but there's a chance of rain again today. Everything's only just drying out from yesterday. But nothing on the rod front, nothing at all. No liners, no bleach, no nothing. And since that lad caught that fish yesterday, over there, all these fish what I've been seeing, well, I say all these, I've seen about 4 or 5 shows, possibly 6 shows in that area there over the last few days. That's stopped. That has now completely stopped. He had a fish from over there, and then obviously I had that pick up yesterday and didn't even realise. God knows how I did that, but like I say, it travelled all that way from there, 80 yards, down to here with the rig, without even setting the alarm off. Unbelievable. And it was a little dumbbell what it had picked up, a little quarter 12mm dumbbell. So what I might do today is, instead of having like I've got a boilie rig, snowman on one rod, then a small food item on the other, like a quarter dumbbell. I might switch to both small items on both rods that's out there on that area and see if that makes a difference. And instead of spodding out me full spod mix, what I've been spodding out, I might put a tin of corn in what's left of the pigeon conditioner and the hemp, and just spod that out and not put the normal mix out that I've been putting out that's got a lot bigger items in it as well. And just see if that makes a difference. But not good mad, I put 20 spoms in, when was that, Friday afternoon. Well, I say 20 spoms, it might have been a few less than that. And then last night I put another 10 in, 12 in, but they weren't full spoms, so not a lot of bait really. You're probably looking at couple of kilo baits gone in, kilo and a half or something since Friday, and a lot of that will have broke down anyway because it's fighting and stuff, so ground bait and that, so not that much really. And just see if that makes a difference. I've got today, I've got tomorrow. I mean, I can always revert back to putting my normal spod mix in. Just put that in, and instead of waiting until tonight to put it in, I want to take my rods out this morning. And rest the swim for an hour while I walk the dog like I do at tea time, or before tea time. I think that is, forgot what I'm saying now, I'm that tired. I think that's what I'm going to do, just spod out corn and pigeon conditioner. And instead of spodding out at tea time, that's what I was saying, putting a bit more out at tea time, I'm just going to put it out this morning. I think what I'll do is I'll put another 10 spoms out, and then that's it then, just leave it and not put any more spom out today or tomorrow if I haven't had a bite, and then just see what happens. Because I mean, at the end of that's 40 spoms gone in there over a period of 4 days or whatever. That's enough, isn't it? So, and just see what happens. But it's really cold. I can't believe how cold it's been over the last few days. Completely different. But this place is rock hard to fish, so I've heard. 5 and 6 on here, even people that fish it all the time don't get many fish out through the year. It's a really hard place to fish. The fish are that cute, they've seen everything. Fish for day in, day out. There's loads and loads of anglers on here all the time, so they've seen every trick in the book. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got fluorocarbon uplinks on now on both of my rods, fishing a D-rig, and then I think what I'm going to do is put, like I say, small food items on both rods. I'll try that. I think what I'll do is put a little 12mm signature pop-up on one of the rods, either yellow, washed out yellow or white, and then on the other rod I'm going to put one of the quarter dumbbells on, the 10mm quarter dumbbells, probably another white one, a Banoffee or the Fishy Fish or the IB, one of them anyway, and then just see what happens there, and that's all I can do. But it's been a hard trip, this has, really hard trip. Everything's been against me, like I said on the last little update what I did. It's been really, really difficult. I had to fight with the weather, the wet, changing the temperatures. It hasn't been easy at all. It's been really, really hard. I feel shattered, I do, even though I've been getting some sleep now. I just feel so tired because it's all been that much hard work. And the fishing dog down there, she's been stuck on lead, so what I keep doing is, she's tired, look, and cold. So what I keep doing with the fishing dog is to keep her occupied. She has a walk in the morning for about 3/4 of an hour around the lakes, and then she has another walk at tea time for about 20 minutes. And then a couple of times in the day, a couple of times at night, I just put her on the lead and walk her up the back of here. Because they've got to stop on lead, you see, on here. She can't roam about or anything, so it's not like she can wander about outside. She's bivvy bound sort of thing, because it's not the weather for it to be outside, whereas the first part of the trip the sun was shining, so she could be outside on the lead, on the long lead, you see, but it's muddy and everything out there. I've got towels down at the minute. I've got a towel down in here and a towel down there till it dries off, so I shall fetch them up soon, pick them up. It does the job. If it's ever muddy outside, save you slipping over, messing about, just take a couple of towels with you, just chuck one outside the bivvy and one in the bivvy, and then as soon as it's all the rain's cleared and it starts drying up, just fetch the towels up, fold them back up again, and if you know it's going to rain again, just keep the towels to one side and just chuck them back down again. And then once you know it's not going to be raining, you can just fetch them up, chuck them in a bag, and then just wash them when you get out. Saves dragging all that mud about, slipping over everything, getting all your waders covered in shit and then dragging it all inside, trying to cook food and there's stuff everywhere. At least doing it this way, you can pick the towels up and then give the bivvy a quick sweep out at tea time, and that's it, job done. So, but like I say, there's been that one fish out, and that's the only fish I know over the whole of all the complex since last Sunday. So it just shows you how difficult it is fishing, or how hard it is to fish. So anyway, I'm going to sign off people for that, and I shall catch up with you later on. So for now, tight lines for that. I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay people. Hello people, just a bit of an update. It's Monday lunchtime now, just after Monday lunchtime. It's about 1:30 I think it is. Still nothing, absolutely nothing. It is as dead as a doornail, it is. We just don't seem to be feeding on here at all. I mean, I've stuck to my spot out there on that gravel bar. Got one on the bar and one off the bar to the left, where it's just like virgin gravel and silt. And then I've still got my other rod down the right hand margin, and I've just got a dumbbell on that. I've put no more bait in that side at all since I initially put some bait in. So I don't know. I've tried them spots closer in with a tiny little bit of bait on. No joy. I had 2 days, 2.5 days on them spots, and then I've been on the other spots since I've been on fishing on the bar since Friday afternoon. and I haven't put masses of bait out. Initially I put so much spod out, and then I topped it up a little bit, not through the day, the following night, and then left it. Then it had a little bit more on it last night, not a lot, 4 or 5 spots, just with a bit of particle pigeon conditioners from corn, just to see if that would make any difference, but it hasn't made the slightest bit of difference. So I've got to, I'm off tomorrow anyway, so I've only got today and tonight left. But still, the wind's still blowing down this way. I don't know if you can see, and the wind's been blowing down this way since I come on here on Wednesday, but it don't seem to have made no difference to the fish. I've hardly seen any shows at all. Like I say, the only shows that I've seen since I've been here was them 4 or 5 shows just, you know, past where I'm fishing. And since that lad had one over there, that's it. There's been no more shows at all. I haven't seen anything. The only other thing I saw is one carp down here, which I think was a carp. It was either a carp or a pike. And now I think it was a carp because I've seen it in there coming up. I've even been breaking up bits of pop-ups, catapulting it out in little bits, and then I've put chunks in, I've put whole pop-ups all around in this weed to see if they'll pick something up off of the top. But they're not doing, they're just not touching it. All it's doing is blowing into the side, and that's it. They just don't seem to be feeding. So I've seen one fish come out of the whole complex since I've been here, and everybody that I've spoke to who fishes it a lot, I've gone back and spoke to them, and they haven't had anything either. And it seems that there's a team of lads on here at the minute. I think there's about 6 or 7 of them that seem to all know each other, and they're all fishing certain spots on Lake 6 and on here. And I think what they're doing is when they've finished, they've done their fishing, and obviously go back to work, whoever else it is comes and drops in the spot after them and then fishes them spots again. But they're not having anything either, so I think they're testing a new bait actually. So one of my mates said to me, there's a load of lads in here testing a new bait at the minute on 5 and 6, but even they're not getting anything doing it like that. I've seen people put no bait out and fish for so many days and have nothing. I've seen people put a couple of spods out over the top, fish it for a couple of days, have nothing. I've seen people put a load of bait out, you know, like put 20 spons out and they've topped it up with another 10 and another 10 and then another 10. But nothing. Everybody's trying everything. I've seen people casting singles out and nothing. So I think, to be perfectly honest with you, for me to come back here, I think I'd travel lighter, bring less stuff and just move about more. Try and find the fish, or if I can't find the fish, put a bit of bait in somewhere and hope somebody don't move in, and keep revisiting them spots and just travel around the place for 2 or 3 days like that. I don't think it's the sort of venue where you want to be coming for like a week and a half and fishing a couple of pegs like I've done, because it's just not productive. It's not. You know, eventually the fish are going to turn up on that area that I'm on, aren't they? But they ain't done so far. It could take weeks for them to do that. So I'd sooner be on the move, I think, fishing different spots and different areas. I think that's how I'd tackle it next time, to be honest with people. Apart from that, there's not really much else I can tell you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed being out, but it's a disappointment not having any fish, especially when I know I've worked really hard and I've tried different things. I've moved twice, you know, I've fished accurately as I possibly can. I've messed about with different hook baits, sizes of hook baits, and it's just made no difference whatsoever. They're just not having it. I think this cold snapper weather is what's done it. The Sunday that I got here, it was warm on that Sunday, and it was warm on the Monday as well, but then since then the temperature has just dropped. The winds are coming in, they're not warm winds anymore, they're cold winds. I mean, I'm sat here and it's like in the afternoon and I'm freezing, and I've got t-shirt, vest on, hoodie, some points in the day I've got my jacket on as well, and I'm having to put my door down because that wind's that cold, and I think it's this what's knocked them off. If it's going to be like this now and stop this temperature, you need at least another week of them to get used to this before they stop having the little feeds here and there, I think, before autumn and winter set in properly. But I think round your margins will be a waste of time in a few more weeks because it's gone that cold. The fish on here I would have thought will push out to the middle and stop there through the winter, I would have thought. But like I say, there's not really much else for me to say or to tell you about, really. So I don't know what the actual videos come out like, but I bet it's quite boring because there's not really much happening in it, so I'm sorry about that, people. There's not really much I can do about it. And the weather's not been brilliant. It's been raining most of the time and windy, so I haven't really been able to do much of anything really apart from being bivvy bound. So, you know, that's what it's like sometimes. That's carp fishing for you. That's why it's called fishing and not catching. So, anyway, I'm going to sign off for that, and then I'll catch up with you later. If I don't catch up with you later, I'll catch up with you in the morning before I go. I mean, there's still chance. I mean, I'm confident in my rigs, I'm confident in my spots. It's just a case for waiting for the fish to start feeding again. So whether or not they'll do it before I go, I don't know. So, but anyway, I'll catch you in a bit, people. Okay. Morning, people. Vlog time. It's Tuesday morning. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Still no fish. Nothing. Can't believe it. We had the most horrendous storm last night. I mean, to look at it now, it is flat calm. Absolutely flat calm again. And it has gone so hot. It has gone really warm again. It's unbelievable. I've woke up sweating and that, I have. The storm what we had last night was just getting worse and worse all night. It felt like the bivvy was going to get ripped out of the ground. Me and the fishing dog here, we've been awake near enough all night, haven't we, Sky? Eh? Yeah, sit down then. We've been awake near enough all night. The storm started last night, and I don't know what time was it, 10 o'clock or something, 10:15, and there was raging. There was getting worse and worse and worse, right through till what, 6 o'clock this morning, 6:15 this morning. So I had no sleep last night at all. You couldn't sleep in that. There's just too much noise. And then I thought I managed to fall asleep this morning about 6:15, and then woke up at 8 o'clock. And like I say, it has been raining, but the rain's easing off now, thank God, because I've got to pack up in a couple of hours. But it's gone really warm. Yet after all that storm, you'd think that the carp had been moving about and somebody'd end up getting a bite, but still nobody's had nothing. Still nobody's had nothing, and there's no carp showing. I mean, last night I went out further, went out over 25 wraps, put a few spoms out and put all 3 rods there, and yet still nothing. No liners, nothing. I can't believe it. It's been one of the hardest grueling sessions I've had because of the weather, trying to cast and not getting any fish. I've had one funny pick up on 6 and one funny pick up on here, and that's it. No fish at all, and I feel absolutely shattered. I feel worn out. Trying to get your rigs out in that weather all the time, in that wind, with it coming straight at you. Absolute nightmare. And leaders, I just want to touch up on leaders. You can't use braided leaders on here apart from your spot and marker like a lot of places. So I'll be using mono tapered leaders. Now I had one mono tapered leader already on one of my rods from a previous session, and that was a Fox Transcarky tapered leader. Got on really well with it. Bought some of the ESP leaders, the clear ones. They're terrible, absolutely terrible they are. When you come to tie them and do your knots in them, the knots don't bed down very well with the stuff. And when you unravel it, you get casting with it, it just seems to, if there's a bit of wind, it just gets tangled all the time. The leader material, it just curls up on itself, and you go to reel in and you've got a massive bird's nest in the leader, and then you get it back to the end of your rod tip, then you've got to undo it all again. You manage to get it undone, settle it down on the rod, you cast it out again and it seems alright, and then you're good to cast again and it's all knotted up and that. So if anybody's looking into buying mono leaders, don't get the ESP ones. They're absolutely terrible. Really, the Fox ones, the Fox tapered leaders, they do them in two sorts. I think it's £15 to £40, I think it is, and then the other one's £12 to £35. Ones I'm using are the 15 to 40s or 15 to 37, because I'm using £15 mainline. But I'm at 100 yards and I reckon I could probably get another 20 yards in good weather with them, no problem at all. So yeah, I recommend them, the Transcarky tapered leaders by Fox. Mono leaders if you can't use braid. I mean, what have I learnt from this session? I know one thing that I have learnt, that most of the time the fish on this 5 and on 6 spend most of the time right out in the middle. So I think next time when I come back, I shall fish right out in the middle, or beyond the middle straight away. Would I put spot out again? I don't know. I don't know if I would or not. I might fish for the first few days just with bags on, finding an area and just putting bags on it, and then see we're using hardly any bait, no bait at all, and see if that picks them up. And then I'd probably put spot in after a few days if I was coming for like a week again. But I think I've just arrived at a time when they're just not feeding with all this cold weather. And yet now, look at it now, it looks perfect. With this warmth and that's come now, I bet you they start coming out again tonight, today or tomorrow. But hey, back to reality. I've had some bad news this morning. I mean, I had some bad news while I was here anyway. My nonna has been taken into hospital and she's 94, but she seems to be okay. She seems to be doing alright. And then my sister's phoned me this morning at 8 o'clock and my auntie has died. She had a heart attack last night. She's only 65. I only saw her a few weeks ago. So, shocked. Just lately it's been a funny time. I lost my ex-girlfriend to cancer in May, and I lost my uncle as well to ill health in May. Plus my nonna has been in hospital, plus I nearly lost the fishing dog. Tell you, reality just kicks in. As you get older, you see more and more of it. It seems to be more deaths, and you seem to lose more people around you. So, just feel for my uncle, that's all. But, you know, the first thing I heard this morning when I woke up, opened my eyes, was my phone ringing, and that's what the news was I got. So, but at least what's her name? It sounded like she just went and that was it. So, but anyway, me and the fishing dog here. This one here with all the blankets there. I'll be going home soon. A couple more hours, isn't it? But this one's got a little tiny bit of an ear infection, and I've put olive oil and garlic in it and kept cleaning it out, but she's going to have some solution in it because she's got tiny little bit of inflammation inside and it's irritating her. But anyway, as far as the fishing goes, you can see it out there, it's flat calm, it looks good now. There's a little bit of a ripple on the middle of the lake. It's gone really warm compared to how it has been. It's gone red hot actually again compared to how it has been. So I've got a couple of hours, I've got 3 rods out there, just over 100 yards, spread on these trees here. There's one there, one there, and one there. There's a bit of bait out there, so I've still got a chance, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sorry it's not been a really exciting vlog, folks, video this time, but it just can't be helped. It's just been a funny week really, it's been a gruler. And not a lot happening as well. I've had to work really hard with my rigs to get out there because of the weather and my bait. I've had to change my spots a couple of times. I've even moved twice, which has been hard work, and still no fish, but that's just the way it goes. I can't win it, I can't get them out all the time, I'm afraid. It's been a funny year this year, it has for carp fishing. Really strange year. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. So thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Yeah, and that's it. Got nothing more to say except enjoy yourselves, people, and happy angling. Adios.